Here are these seeds you need to start in April, and I actually have seeds in here that you can sow outdoors in April, combined with ones that you should start indoors. So you guys know the drill. It does not matter what zone you are in. What matters is your last frost date, and relatively speaking, that really doesn't even matter. So all these seeds can be started at the exact same time, unless I state otherwise, in all zones. American, Canadian, you name it. There's really no rules here. These are the ones you start in April, regardless of where you are. So number one is asparagus, and that is a direct sow. You can direct sow asparagus at this time. So there are a ton of flowers that you can also start, not limited to bellis, cornflower, cosmos, echinacea, marigolds, nasturtiums, poppies, wildflowers, and sunflowers. Now, those are best started towards the end of April. I probably wouldn't pop them in right now if you are in a cooler zone. Use your head a little bit with this. Take your soil temps, very important, because even your front to your backyard, the soil temps can be different. If there's a tree, your soil temps can be different. And so to determine if it's time to actually sow the seeds in that specific area in your garden, you need a soil temp thermometer to make sure that the soil temp is at the correct temp for the seeds that you're sowing. And that goes for all of these direct sow and transplants as well. And I have linked in my March video, the seed temp list. I will put it here. And if I forget to put it in the bottom of this video, the one done by University of California, please let me know and I will do it. Last time I forgot, I'm forgetful. There are actually some herbs you could direct sow outdoors as well, again pending soil temp, and that is borage, caraway, chives, cilantro, dill, and mint. Now cilantro in particular, so direct sow when things do warm up, and if it freezes you would want to cover, but they do best in like cooler climates. They tend to go a little bit, they're not great in warm ones, but in cold, perfect. Now these ones you can sow outdoors, but it's in your interest to cover them, meaning when they germinate, just make sure they're in a low tunnel or in a cold frame, or that you even just put winter fleece over them during the night. So first up is kale and collard greens. Any kale, any collard greens, there are some that are more cold tolerant than others, so keep that in mind. And in some cases, kale and collard greens, you can just not cover, and they can get hit with like a light frost and they'll be just fine. Like literally, I'm not even joking. They can be under a snowbank and they'll be fine. So kale and collard greens. Next up is mustards. So mustards is a palette in which is very specific to enjoy mustards, but that can be grown. You can also go with pak choi, bok choy, any of those kind of like Asian green type plants. They do very well this time of year. They will need to be covered. They don't do well through frost, but they do like the cooler temperatures compared to that of which you get in the summer. The summertime, these are nearly impossible to grow, and those plants in particular can be some of your first garden plants in which you harvest. Next up is radishes. Now, all sizes, all shapes will work. What I will say is if you've had troubles with flea beetles in the past, do your radishes now, because at a minimum, your radishes will be larger and won't have those tender leaves in which flea beetles go crazy for. I've done a video on flea beetles and prevention and yada, yada, yada. Go check that out if you want to learn more. But if you've had troubles with flea beetles in the past and their damage kind of looks like this, please do plant them now, cover them, because when it comes to, plants that are farther along, the flea beetles don't like older leaves. They only like those really tender cotyledon / baby leaves to chew on. And if your plants are, in the future, way beyond what a flea beetle wants, you'll be fine. Because if you did not know, pests, disease, plants all work on something called growing degree units, or GDDs, growing degree days. And what that means is that every area collects a number of units every single day. And you can actually Google, what are my heat units in Toronto, wherever you are. And flea beetles, disease, and plants all have a certain number of units that need to be accumulated before they hatch or become a problem, etc. and so forth. So you can actually predict when your flea beetles are going to show up in your yard, or when powdery mildew is going to become a problem for you, and you can put what you need in place to prevent against powdery mildew or prevent against flea beetle problems. I could do a whole video on that, but just keep that in mind. If you beat the units, you beat the flea beetles. Strategy, garden strategy here, people. Next up is spinach. These plants, what you also may want to consider is wave planting, meaning starting some now and then not sowing all your seeds. Waiting about 2 weeks, sowing some more, waiting 2 weeks, sowing some more. And yes, they might not be up by the time the 2 weeks come, but eventually they will start popping up, and then you will have a continual harvest of these rather than just a whole bunch that are overgrown and starting to get nasty in taste because they're, heating up too much, whatever the case is. If you wave plant these, you can have a continuous food source, and these are great ones to wave plant because you have so much time from now until fall, essentially. Okay, indoors. Some of these, I'm gonna say sneak it in, meaning we're getting close to where you really shouldn't start these, and you should probably just consider getting them from like a nursery. And then others I'll say wait, meaning these are at like the tail end of April, almost May, in which you would want to start them. So just keep an open ear for that. So all your brassica species, Brussels sprouts, cabbages, broccoli, cauliflower, or those all can be started indoors now, anytime in April. Beginning of April, end of April. The sooner you start them, the sooner you can get them outside. They do like cooler weather. So these are ones that I'll mention in May again, and I'll mention them in May as plants to transplant outdoors, because I will mention the transplants you want to do in May versus June versus July, whatever the case is. And they'll make the list for transplants because they have some resistance to frost, and they actually like a cooler soil to transplant into, because again, soil temp matters. And yeah, so they're a great choice. Next up is celery. This is a sneak it in. Celery is like you're getting a little bit tight here, so you want to sneak it in real quick, like the next week or two. Eggplant, if you're into that, because you're crazy, then yes, start those. Kohlrabi, I grew this for the first time last year. I enjoyed it. Yeah, start it now. Leeks is a sneak it in, literally in the next week. Lettuce and melons. So lettuce, I would wave plant these. Lettuce, in particular, the long lead time lettuces, like romaine, for example. Those ones should be started here in April. The loose leaf lettuces or like the mixed blends, those ones I actually won't worry about, but the other ones I would. Melons, this is gonna fall in the later category. So I would, end of April, consider watermelons, cantaloupes, whatever kind of melons you wanna try to grow in your area. They do need longer growing seasons. They don't transplant well, but they can, if they become overgrown, they really don't transplant well. So it's one of those things where you need to put it off, and then you need to put the right equipment in place, such as like hot houses and that sort of thing, to try to increase the units actually accumulated by the plant in the days in which you do have it outdoors. So yeah, those ones I'd start later. If you hear a dog crying this entire video, it is my dog, who's very needy. He's old and he's gone cuckoo. I swear he has dementia. I don't even know what's happening in the last 6 months, but he's losing it. I love him dearly, but wacko. Okra. Again, if you're gross like that and you enjoy it, yeah, that's one you can start now. I do not like okra. I do not like eggplant. Neither one of those are good to me. Next up is tomatoes. Tomatoes need to be started here in April, sooner rather than later. I mean, it depends on what kind of setup you have. So if you have a greenhouse, I would go for sooner. If you don't have a greenhouse and you're indoors only, with grow lights, and then you have to like move everything out for hardening off, I would actually go later in April. The plants will catch up to each other really, really quick. I've done this before. So I've started some at the beginning of April, and then I've been like, oh, I don't have enough, I gotta start more. I'll start some at the end of April, and by the time they're all outside, a month later, they're all the same size. They're all flowering at the same time, and they're all harvested at the same time. So they really catch up quick. So is there a benefit starting early? I don't personally think so, particularly when you use techniques that we've discussed on this channel, such as like topping in the fall to really speed up the process of ripening, if you will. I literally texted Jessica from Marcopia this past weekend. I was like, I'm gonna start my tomatoes this weekend. I didn't start them, Jessica. I didn't start them. So I'm gonna start them this week in my plastic that's gonna kill me. And yeah, we'll be good. Next is calendula. So that one's an indoor start. I've had nothing but issues with calendula. I don't know. I can't start it indoors. It grows, but it doesn't transplant well, in my opinion. If you have secret hacks for calendula, please let me know what they are. When it comes to herbs to start indoors, you are way too late for lavender and rosemary. Don't even try. Just go buy it at this point. But the ones you're not late for is basil, bergamot, catnip, cilantro, lemon balm, loveridge, oregano, and stevia. These can all be started beginning of April, end of April, into May. There's no pressure with these at all. Zero pressure. Depends on how big of a plant you want. If you want a big plant, if you're planning to harvest for the purpose of drying and making like your own herbs to get you through the winter, then maybe start now. If you're just looking for fresh eats, don't stress out. Just cool it. You can wait, trust me. Geek crew, I am relying on you to comment down below what you're starting in April, where you're at, and why you're starting it. Any tips and tricks you can give the rest of the crew that is new to this channel. And if you're new and you did not know, the comment section is smarter than me. Promise you, you will find somebody to geek up with in the comments down below. I'm rambling at this point. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.